My hair is large, so let's just get that out there. Today I just found out a couple hours ago, along with all of you, that hair salons and the like are not opening quite yet, which is great. St. Catharines Real Estate Market Report, looking at the last 92 days. So rather than look at March, April, or May isolated, because they are all such completely different months, we smashed them together to give a 92-day report. You'll see average sale price up just over 7% to $454,000. And why is that going up when you think in the midst of COVID the market would be pulling back? And that's because the number of sales have pulled back in relation to the number of new listings. So the inventory has been pulled back, and so buyers still have a limited amount of selection, and there's still that sort of heated activity out there. So that's the 92-day report there. So looking at it a little closer, so this graph here shows you the number of sales monthly for 2020 so far for St. Catharines. You see it sort of looks like a little dipper. We have that peak in February, and then it pulls back, and then a real low where we were at about 10 sales a week or so in April, and then a fight back happening in May. And so that's that sort of little dipper thing that happened. And then when you look at it weekly, you'll see that trough that happens on this graph. You'll see that trough that happens in the second and third week of April, where sales were really slow. Everybody pulled back, rightfully so. We all sort of retreated and stood back and waited. And then you'll see that sort of weekly increase to 20 sales a week, 30 sales a week, pushing up to 40 sales a week as we got to the end of May. So that's an interesting correlation to, again, everybody's reaction to COVID and doing the right thing and waiting. So with sale price, what happened with that? When you look going back to the beginning of the year on a monthly basis, you'll see on this graph that the average sale price really just hovered above the 2019 values. So the average sale price in February was the highest on record for St. Catharines for 1 month at $466,000. Oddly enough, May 2020 was second place at about $458,459. In general, we've been in the low 450s on a monthly basis for the last little bit. And so year to date, the average sale price in St. Catharines is actually up about 10% year over year. Again, counterintuitive to what people might expect. So the average sale price year to date is sitting around $455,000 for St. Catharines. And then you look at this, shows you the average sale price on a weekly basis. And again, there's this sort of back and forth happening with 2019 during COVID. Because again, spring being a really strong market, you would expect 2019 as well. The prices were slamming away back then too. But again, to some people's disbelief, the average sale prices in St. Catharines have held their own and increased. So currently sitting again in the mid 450 range, when average over the same time period last year was more in the 415, 420 range. So there you have it. That is the sum total of the market for St. Catharines so far. Again, different ways to look at it, but that's I think a few angles for you to have a look and get some context on stuff. If you have any questions, reach out anytime. We're going to link to that market tracker down below. We've talked about lots, which gives you lots more information on Niagara, St. Catharines, Niagara Lake, Niagara Falls, all the way down to Fort Erie. That's all for now. Any questions, reach out anytime. We're here to help. Okay, thanks. See ya. Bye.